Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. So, it is New Year's Eve here at the Oasis, and we have a bunch of people coming over. This is the perfect time to try out some appetizers before we serve them for the Super Bowl. Because, you know, tonight everybody's going to be smashed, so they won't know if they're good or not, right? So, I want to make sure they're good before I serve them during the Super Bowl, where people are a little more sober. So, smoked cheeseburger sliders. Let's get right into it. So first of all, I'm going to take 2 pounds of ground beef. Of course, we're using our aged ground beef. Make it ourselves, but you can use regular ground beef. Going to chuck that in a bowl. With that, I'm going to put somewhere between a teaspoon and tablespoon, you measure that stuff with your heart, of some burger seasoning. You can use SPG, salt, pepper, garlic, or whatever your favorite burger rub is. I'm sure Montreal steak seasoning would be good. I happen to be using Cattleman's Grill Roadhouse. Love this stuff. There we go. Now I'm going to get that mixed up. All right, I channeled my kindergarten skills and cut myself an 11 by 8 inch sheet of parchment paper. Why would I do such a thing, you ask? Thank you for asking, appreciate that. So I can end up with a 10 inch by 7 inch meat sheet because that is a little bit bigger than the size of the Hawaiian rolls box that I'm going to use. And nobody likes a burger where the burger doesn't go all the way to the edge of the bun. That's just wrong. Don't do it. So, we're going to make a meat sheet now. You can use a rolling pin if you want, but if you want to manipulate your meat with your hands, then you can do that. I'm not going to judge. All right, the meat sheet has been formed. Right now, my Yoder YS640 pellet grill is heating to 275 degrees. I am also using this as an opportunity to try something. I belong to a bunch of different Facebook groups of people that use pellet smokers, and there's a good percentage that swear by using half wood pellets and half charcoal pellets. Now, we've always used wood pellets before, never touched the charcoal before, but in my smoker right now I have a 50-50 mixture of a competition blend, which I believe is oak, post oak, mesquite, and hickory, and 50% of those charcoal pellets. So when I do finally get this done and we bring in a judge of unimpeachable character, then they're going to comment on not only how the food tastes, but can they taste that special taste you get when you cook with charcoal. So it'll be interesting. So my meat sheet is going to go into the refrigerator until I'm ready to chuck that into the grill. In the meantime, we need to caramelize some onions. We'll do that next. The meat sheet's in the refrigerator. Let's get those onions caramelized. It's very, very simple. I have a tablespoon of butter and a cast iron skillet behind me. I'm going to put that on medium-high heat. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil to that to keep the butter from burning. Now, once that butter melts, I'm going to add 1 large diced red onion to that. I'm going to cook it for about 20 minutes. I want these really caramelized. In the last minute of cooking, this is the Galley of the Sun. We must add garlic or hatch green chilies to everything that's not a dessert. And I'm still trying to figure out the dessert thing for garlic and hatch green chilies. I'll get there. Give me time. But at that time, I'm going to add some garlic to it also, and then we'll set that aside. That gets added to the burgers once the meat sheet is done cooking. So, I got about 20 minutes of onion cooking to do. So, we'll be back once that's done. The onions and garlic is done. It's off the heat. Now we're ready to put our meat sheet on the smoker. What I'm doing is taking a baking sheet with a lip here. On top of that, I have a wire rack. And my thinking is I want to keep that meat sheet out of the grease that's going to drip down. I also want the meat sheet to separate from that wire rack for the next step. So I'm going to hit it with some spray. We're going to put our meat sheet onto the rack, and this is going on to the smoker, again, at 275 degrees. So you want to cook this ground beef to about 160 degrees. And I really, right now, don't have a good feel for how long my meat sheet's going to take to get there. So I have an instant read digital thermometer. I'm going to check it every 15 minutes. You don't want to be opening that smoker any more often than that, because we do want to get some smoke flavor on our meat sheet. So off to the smoker. We'll see you in a bit. So it's been about an hour. The meat sheet is done and it smells incredible and it looks rather attractive. So let's put those cheeseburgers together now. Right now, I am bumping up the temperature in my smoker to 375 degrees to finish this off. But we got to put the sliders together first. We do that by getting a package of Hawaiian rolls. Be careful not to separate them yet. Keep them together. We're going to cut this whole darn thing in half. Not this way, but this way. Use a serrated knife. Be gentle. Okay, that's done. Now, we're going to put that on a pan. First thing that goes down is a layer of stone ground mustard. If you're a wrestling fan, you can use stone cold mustard if you wish. It's up to you. All right, now on that goes our meat sheet. Oh, look at that. Our measurements were perfect. Meat is extending over the bun. I'm a happy man. Okay, next goes those caramelized onions we made earlier. To keep those glued on and to legally qualify as a cheeseburger, gotta add cheese. Now, you can add sliced cheddar if you want, but that's typical. So what I have here is some shredded Trader Joe's unexpected cheddar. You didn't expect that, did you? Yeah. So that's going to be the glue that keeps our onions on top of our meat sheet. All right, used about a cup there, 8 ounces. Then on top of that goes 1 pickle per burger. So we got 3 by 4. So for you math geniuses out there, that's 12 pickles. If you don't have 12 pickles, just use a dozen. Don't use those sweet pickles. Use dill pickles unless you don't like the people you're serving. Then use the sweet ones. All right, we top that with our buns. On top of that, we brush on a tablespoon of melted butter. Then we hit that with the everything but bagel seasoning. All right, that's going to go on the smoker, 375 degrees for about 10 minutes, and then it's time for us to get some judgment. We will see you then. All right, the sliders are off the smoker. Let's get these cut up and get judged and find out, are these Super Bowl worthy, or do I just feed them to a bunch of drunk people at my house on New Year's Eve? We'll find out. Okay, here we go, the moment of truth. Gabby will tell us, are these good? Can she taste the charcoal pellets, the charcoal flavor from those pellets? We'll find out. All right, it's your pick, any of the 12.
One with a good pickle on it.
There you go. They're definitely a little messy.
You do get a little bit of that charcoal.
Awesome.
It's like at the very end and like leftover taste at the end of it. You do get a bit of that charcoal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, those are good. Those are great.
Are these Super Bowl party worthy?
Oh yeah. Sliders,
okay.
Yeah. These are great.
There you go. So if you're looking for a fantastic slider, smoked cheeseburger sliders. Give them a try. Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. Until we see you next time, fair winds and following seas.